Coming up on Mountain News at 6, as Suicide Prevention Awareness Month continues, many veterans are struggling with PTSD. And we're taking a look at the latest unemployment numbers in Kentucky, what trends experts are seeing in the Commonwealth.
Plus, warm weather continues for now, but cooler temperatures and rain chances are looming. Those details coming up as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Recent reports from the CDC show suicide ranks among the top 10 leading causes of death for people in the United States. And veterans are one group with the highest rates. And with September being Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, WYMT's Olivia Calfee spoke with a licensed psychologist for suicide prevention about why her job is so important and what you can do to ask for help.
In the most recent study by the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, it found in 2020 there were 6,146 veteran suicide deaths. And licensed psychologist Dr. Rachel Hempel-Rudy works with the suicide prevention team for the VA's office in Kentucky, saying they are working to change the stigma.
Veterans do continue to be at a higher risk for suicide compared to the general population. This might be for a number of different factors. We know that veterans might be more likely in some instances to struggle with anxiety, depression, certainly PTSD can be a factor. But we also know that veterans, when they are readjusting back to civilian life, face really unique challenges that the general population does not face.
And she says during Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, everyone should work together to make a change.
It's just normalizing that when people are having a time of stress, when their mental health is at its lowest point, that thoughts of suicide are not uncommon at all. And then the next thing is just really reassuring them that help is available and that help is out there.
If you or a loved one is struggling with thoughts of suicide, dial 988. And if you are a veteran, press 1. Someone like Dr. Hempel-Rudy will answer the phone to listen and find a solution.
We really want to emphasize all of the different treatments that veterans are eligible for. We have treatments that are specially designed and researched to help veterans with PTSD. We have treatments for substance use. We have treatments for depression.
And remember, it's okay to ask for help. In Perry County, Olivia Calfee, WYMT Mountain News.
Dialing the 988 crisis line will connect you with a trained crisis counselor. 988 is confidential, free, and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. The woman accused of killing her 17-month-old toddler was arraigned in Bell County Circuit Court this morning. Bell County Commonwealth's Attorney Lisa Fugit posted to her personal Facebook page that she will seek the death penalty against Erica Lawson for her alleged role in killing the toddler. Lawson was indicted on multiple charges in Bell County Circuit Court last month. 2 people were arrested after a standoff in Southwest Virginia this past weekend. Police were called out to a home in Norton Saturday. When they arrived, they found 46-year-old Samuel Smith of Norton had reportedly fired a gun at bondsmen who were there to take him into custody on bond violations. Police also found 26-year-old Rebecca Pogue of Norton after she was hiding in the home. Smith is facing multiple charges, including brandishing a firearm. A Knox County woman is behind bars after police say she tried to steal an ATV. Last Friday, the Laurel County Sheriff's Office received a complaint of a man and woman trying to steal an ATV at a home on John R. Jones Road, about 9 miles west of London. When deputies arrived at the scene, the woman was trying to create a distraction to allow the man the chance to steal the ATV. 28-year-old Jessica Lawson of Barberville is facing multiple charges. A warrant is out for the man, but he's not been found yet. A Laurel County man has been sentenced for his role in a cockfighting case. The Lexington Herald-Leader says Oakley Whitley Hatfield was sentenced in federal court on August 22nd to 1 year and a day in jail, along with a $1,000 fine. The Herald-Leader also reports while Hatfield was waiting to stand trial earlier this year, he asked a witness in the case to lie about the role his girlfriend had in the operation. We have much more about this case on our website at WYMT.com. 2 people are recovering from a fall in southern Kentucky this past weekend. It happened near the dam on Beaver Creek behind Kennett's Antiques in Wayne County Sunday. In a Facebook post, officials with the Wayne County Rescue Squad said a woman and a child fell about 15 feet. They were not identified. They were rescued and taken to the Wayne County Hospital for treatment. We do not know their conditions. People in one Floyd County community might be without a way out to work due to work needing to be done on a bridge. The Justel Bridge in the Betsy Lane community failed the state inspection and is in dire need of repairs. This is the only way people living on the other side can get to town. Judge Executive Robbie Williams says closing the bridge would cause more of an issue than if it were left open.
The residents are going to have to park on the other side of US 23, run across US 23 to get to the vehicles to park. So you can only imagine what's going to happen.
Crews say they are hopeful the bridge can stay open through the length of the repairs as they add support. Williams also says the bridge has needed repairs for a while and the county will do what they can to help those in the area who have been impacted. A traffic alert for those in Clay County. Transportation officials say the Martin Branch Road Bridge in the Bullskin Creek community is being replaced on September 25th. The northbound lane of Kentucky 1482 will be closed during parts of the construction. The bridge project has a traffic impact time of up to 6 days and is set to be reopened near the end of November. We understand there will also be a project involving a bridge replacement in Harlan County beginning on September 18th. That bridge project will replace the Ages Creek Road Bridge through Ages Branch. Those on the road need to watch for signage and flaggers. This project also has a traffic impact of up to 90 days and is scheduled to reopen in the middle of December. Before graduation, some first responders in training are getting a taste of the real world. For Madison County EMS students, they have spent weeks working towards their certification, all for it to come down to a test they did not know was even coming. The simulation is a mock active shooter incident that's supposed to act as a real-life scenario with actors pretending to be wounded citizens.
We have an active shooter situation at a county fair, and they're gonna come out, they're gonna triage the patients.
In less than 2 hours after the students were sent to tend to their victims, the mock situation was diffused and the students were sent away with a valuable learning experience. Officials say if you want to learn how to respond to emergencies, you can join their classes coming up this fall.
Warm weather continues across the region into your Tuesday evening. Also watching out, though, for a few showers up on the radar, especially close to I-75. But notice over the past few scans, these showers are starting to fade away as they encounter more drier air over the mountains, and that will continue to be the case as we go into this evening. But still, a few spotty sprinkles are possible in Somerset, also over to London and Laurel County, down I-75 into Whitley, also Campbell County as well. A few spotty sprinkles cannot be ruled out. For most of us, we are warm, but notice a little bit cooler for Campbell, Whitley, also McCreary and Pulaski and Wayne counties, down into the lower 80s, middle to upper 80s though for everyone else, as we are still dry under plenty of sunshine. But we are watching out for some mild and muggy weather to continue into tonight. Those lows falling into the upper 60s and lower 70s, and same story in the Big Sandy Valley as well, upper 60s, lower 70s. Most of us are dry tonight, but some changes on the way by Wednesday, also Thursday, as some changes in the forecast are on the way really into this weekend as well, as more cooler and drier air is on the way. Those details coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Cameron, thank you. In a news conference this morning, Governor Andy Beshear announced a record $386 million investment to expand internet access in 46 counties. 3 counties in our region were awarded funding for internet expansion. Bell County is receiving a little more than $214,000 for its project, while Laurel County is receiving more than $3.5 million. Pulaski County is being granted nearly $20 million. All of this will be with Spectrum as the provider. High unemployment rates are not a new thing in eastern Kentucky. The state's seasonally adjusted preliminary July 2023 unemployment rate was 3.8%. That's according to the Kentucky Center for Statistics. Julia Sanders spoke to experts in the field about the trends they are seeing in the Commonwealth.
Experts say right now there's a tight labor market. At the Kentucky Retail Federation, Steve McLean says their members are seeing less applicants.
For some of these jobs, particularly retail, those were, jobs people took because they were part-time and they brought in a little bit of money, for them to have. But then with COVID and all, they've just said, I'm just going to retire. And those folks did not come back to the workforce.
UK's director at the Center for Business and Economic Research, Dr. Mike Clark, says there's a strong demand for workers.
Others where maybe we've seen some struggles in terms of employment gains have been in the area of professional and business services. These are things like architectural, engineering services, attorney services. It also includes temporary workers. We have seen that sector actually has contracted a bit over the past year.
He says Kentucky added jobs in manufacturing, construction, and education healthcare services at a faster pace than they've seen nationally.
Well, I think if you look over the last couple of years, you've seen that employment both in Kentucky and nationally has been very strong. You've seen a strong demand for workers. Employers are trying to hire workers, and they've really struggled over the past year or so to find workers.
In Lexington, Julia Sandor, WKYT.
And the Kentucky Center for Statistics says from July of 2022 to July of this year, unemployment rates grew in 98 counties and fell in 17.
Well, temperatures stay mild into this evening, but some changes on the way by the weekend, also into next week. Those details on the way. Plus,
there's a new mural of 3 Leslie Countyans who made an impact beyond their community. Stay tuned for more details.